restoring names that honor American greatness. Executive Order, January 20th, 2025. I get to talking and I can't even smoke. By the authority vested in me as President of the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. Section 1. Purpose and Policy. It is in the national interest to promote the extraordinary heritage of our nation. Bonnie, it's me. Oh, alright. I'm glad that somebody's watching this. I'm actually creating small clips of this with my screen recorder as I go along, so it's not one big giant chop. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is pretty cool information, so I'm glad somebody is watching and following along. And also, like I mentioned, that link is there. You can click on that link and follow along if you really want to. That's what I'm reading from, is from the White House and from, the president himself. Let's see. The purpose and policy. It is in the national interest to promote the extraordinary... Okay, we read that. We started to read that. Nation and ensure future generations... Just read this again. Section 1. Yeah, it is great info. Purpose and policy. It is in the national interest to promote the extraordinary heritage of our nation and ensure future generations of American citizens celebrate the legacy of our American heroes. The naming of our national treasures, including breathtaking natural wonders and historic works of art, should honor the contributions of visionary and patriotic Americans in our nation's rich past. Section 2, which I haven't shared this out to anybody, so if you want to share it out, you can. I'll probably focus on breaking down the clips later to share out in smaller clips so it's not one big upload. But I figured why not do the live video for it, so, this is a first for me too, so just figured I'd see how it goes. Section 2. Appointments to the U.S. Board of Geographic Names. Within 7 days of the date of this order, each agency head with authority to appoint members to the Board of Geographic Names, pursuant to 43 U.S.C. 364A, shall review their respective appointees. Oh, right on. Yeah, which the nominations were for Senate were there up in the beginning, which is pretty cool. And thank you for the share. Shall review their prospective appointees and consider replacing those appointees in accordance with applicable law. And who is that with? Okay. The Secretary of the Interior shall review and consider additional appointments to the board to assist in fulfilling all aspects of this order subject to applicable laws. With respect to all applications for naming and renaming submitted to the newly constituted board, the board shall advance the policy establishment in Section 1 of this order to honor the contributions of visionary and patriotic Americans, and may update its principles, policies, and procedures as needed to achieve this policy. Where congressional action is required to establish a renaming in public law following board approval on renaming, the board shall provide guidance to all relevant federal agencies to use the board-approved name in the interim in federal documents and achieve consistency across the federal government. This is real interesting, so bringing up the renaming of some stuff as follows. Section 3, renaming of Mount McKinley. President William McKinley, the 25th President of the United States, heroically led our nation to victory in the Spanish-American War. Under his leadership, the United States enjoyed rapid economic growth and prosperity, including an expansion of territorial gains for the nation. President McKinley championed tariffs to protect U.S. manufacturing, boost domestic production, and drive U.S. industrialization and global reach to new heights. He was tragically assassinated in an attack on our nation's values and our success. Wow. Man, I didn't know that. And he should be honored for his steadfast commitment to American greatness. Nice work, Trump. I really like this. In 1917, the country officially honored President McKinley through the naming of North America's highest peak. Yet after nearly a century, President Obama's administration in 2015 stripped the McKinley name from federal nomenclature, an affront to President McKinley's life. An affront. Wow. His achievements and his sacrifice. Yeah, that's some Bolshevik. I'm glad. That's crazy. Why would anybody do that? Because they had this agenda, man, this narrative. This order honors President McKinley for giving his life for our great nation and dutifully recognizes his historic legacy of protecting America's interests and generating enormous wealth for all Americans, which is exactly what Trump is trying to do, is take this place back to a place which is what we're calling now the golden age, people. B. Within 30 days of the date of this order, the Secretary of the Interior shall, consistent with 43 U.S.C. 364 through 364F, reinstate the name Mount McKinley. The Secretary shall subsequently update the Geographic Names Information System, the GNIS, to reflect the renaming and reinstatement of Mount McKinley. The national park area surrounding Mount McKinley shall retain the name Denali National Park and Preserve. The Secretary of Interior shall work with Alaska Native entities and state and local organizations to adopt names for landmarks to honor the history and culture of the Alaskan people. The Gulf of America. Wow. Man, that's pretty cool to see this in writing, in executive orders for myself. What do we got here from... what is this? A book for? How to become an audiobook narrator? Why don't you just tell me what you're talking about on the screen while I'm reading, Miss Bonnie? Or you can call me. But I want to get through this because I'm recording these. Audiobook? Oh, I think I kind of know what you're talking about. I kind of have thought about doing audiobooks where you could just record this and turn it into an audiobook. Somebody could read it or whatever. I think that's kind of what you're talking about. Which I have thought about. That's why I'm kind of making the clips. When you start with the clips, while I'm recording the video, I'm actually recording the audio too. So I can actually use that later and take that out of the video clips and turn it into an audio file. And then I could make that. Get paid to read books? Yeah, really? I don't know if anybody would want to hear the sound of my voice, but, maybe some people, everybody likes a different sound. That's so funny. I have thought about it, but, is that what that link was that you sent me? I don't know how to get into that. Well, that's cool. Yeah, and you can do all that. I am tech savvy with all that. I can use my editing software. I can pull that out. Either turn it into a podcast. I would read somebody a book. What I want to do, I actually wouldn't mind doing an audio recording of The Art of the Deal or whatever if I ever get that book. I would love to do that. The Pick. What are you talking about? Oh, it gives you the URL. Yeah, that's cool. Well, let me get back to this. The Gulf of America, man, and I will check that out, definitely. If it's something that I can make money doing, I'll be on there, solid, making money. Section 4, the Gulf of America. The area formerly known as the Gulf of Mexico has long been an integral asset to our once burgeoning nation. However you say that. Yes. Definitely need financial avenues because I am broke and I don't know how I'm going to make it. Hopefully they pay quick. That's so funny. The faster you read, the faster you get paid. Blah, 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 blah. I'll do it. Gulf of America. Yes, this is really cool. I love that we're really getting the information on this. The Gulf was a crucial artery. Let's see. Hold on. The area formerly known as the Gulf of Mexico has long been an integral asset to our once burgeoning nation, whatever that word is, and has remained an indelible part of America. The Gulf was a crucial artery for the America's early trade and global commerce. It is the largest gulf in the world, and the United States coastline along this remarkable body of water spans over 1,700 miles and contains nearly 160 million acres. Wow. Its natural resources and wildlife remain central to America's economy today. The bountiful geology of this basin has made it one of the most prodigious oil and gas regions in the world, providing roughly 14% of our nation's crude oil production and an abundance of natural gas, and consistently driving new and innovative technologies that have allowed us to tap into some of the deepest and richest oil reservoirs in the world. You'll be at the doctor's appointment. We'll still be here. Good luck with your doctor's appointment. We'll see you, Bonnie. Let's see. And then you can always go back through here and catch up on each section. That's why I'm going to end up breaking them down into separate clips. Let's see. Crude oil. The Gulf is also home to vibrant American fisheries, teeming with snapper, shrimp, grouper, stone crab, and other species, and it is recognized as one of the most productive fisheries in the world, with the second largest volume of commercial fishing landings by region in the nation, contributing millions of dollars to local American economies. The Gulf is also a favorite destination for American tourism and recreation activities. Further, the Gulf is a vital region for the multi-billion-dollar U.S. maritime industry, providing some of the largest and most impressive ports in the world. The Gulf will continue to play a pivotal role in shaping America's future and the global economy, and in recognition of this flourishing economic resource and its critical importance to our nation's economy and its people, I am directing that it officially be renamed the Gulf of America. Wow! The Gulf of America! Yeah! America first! Yes! That is awesome. America. The American way. That's why we're doing this the American way. The American way is to stand up to bullies. The American way is to do the right thing from the beginning, in the first place, to learn from our mistakes, to make the world a better place. The Gulf of America, people, as such, within 30 days of the date of this order, the Secretary of the Interior. Just imagine our grandkids will grow up, and they will see that on the maps as Gulf of America from now on. They won't see it as the Gulf of Mexico in history and textbooks. They're going to see the Gulf of America. Man, as such, within 30 days of the date of this order, the Secretary of the Interior shall, consistent with 43 U.S.C. 364 through 364F, take all appropriate actions to rename as the quote-unquote Gulf of America the U.S. continental shelf area bounded on the northeast, north, and northwest by the states of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida, and extending to the seaward boundary with Mexico and Cuba in the area formerly named as the Gulf of Mexico. The Secretary shall subsequently update the GNIS to reflect the renaming of the Gulf and remove all references to the Gulf of Mexico from the GNIS consistent with applicable law. Yeah, baby, the Gulf of America. And we're going to take out all the references to the Gulf of Mexico. It's good. That's like rewriting history. That's pretty good. Getting salad stuff. What kind of mushrooms do you want on them? No, my wife's asking me about shopping. It's not really the mushrooms that matters. I'll get them next time. Don't worry about it, my love. Thank you very much. I love you. Be safe. Let's see. Where was I? Boundaries here. Reflect its renaming. The board shall provide guidance to ensure all federal references of the Gulf of America, including on agency maps, contracts, and other documents and communications, shall reflect its renaming. Yes, that is great. Section 5, Additional Action. The Secretary of Interior may solicit public and intergovernmental input regarding additional patriots to honor, particularly in light of America's semi-quincentennial celebration. What a word. And shall recommend action to me through the assistance of the President for domestic policy. Section 6, General Provisions. Nothing in this order shall be construed to impair or otherwise affect the authority granted by law to an executive department or agency, or the head thereof, the functions of the Director of the Office of Management and Budget relating to budgetary, administrative, and legislative proposals. This order shall be implemented consistent with applicable law and subject to the availability of appropriations. This order is not intended to and does not create any right or benefit, substantive or procedural, enforceable at law or in equity by any party against the United States, its departments, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, or agents, or any other person. The White House, January 20th, 2025.